Hello everyone, Gaara here and welcome to a brand new card review video. Today I'm gonna talk about Bloodqueen Lana'thel. I translated for you the text down here. When I recorded this video I only had access to the German version of the card since it is so super brand hyper new. So let's jump right into it. It is a 5 mana Warlock legendary, 1 attack, 6 health, and it has the effect lifesteal, receive +1 attack for every card you discarded in the game, and so it stacks up pretty much. If you discarded 5 cards during the game, this minion will be a 5 mana 6/6 plus lifesteal. Pretty OP is what you might think, but I've been thinking of this card the whole day, and I'm gonna pretend that this Hogger Plish is Gul'dan. It's gonna be okay. In December there will be another expansion and you will get your time to shine. This card is super unplayable. As all of you guys already know, Warlock is the least viable class in Hearthstone right now. The Warlock quest is the least playable quest. All of the archetypes of the Warlock class are really unplayable from a competitive standpoint. If you don't mind losing a lot of games, Warlock is the right class for you. And this card is not gonna help Warlock make the breakthrough. This is as far as I can tell. It is a 5 mana 1/6, which is obviously really bad. But we can buff this card. So what do we need? What is the dream scenario for this card to shine? And I would say you have to discard around at least 3 cards and buff this card to a 4/6 before it becomes good. So, and another thing what I was thinking about is you don't necessarily have to discard cards for this card to get like an increased attack. You can buff this card. Unfortunately, on top of everything, it is not a demon. So if this would be at least a demon, we can use cards like Demon Fuse and stuff like that. But we can buff it theoretically with an Abusive Sergeant. We don't really have access to Power of the Whelming anymore. So I was really thinking about this a lot. How we could artificially boost the attack of this card in a viable way, and I just couldn't find a way. So we have to go through the discard route, and there's a huge problem with the discard route. First of all, there's good discard cards in the game already, but discard lock is still one of the worst decks that you can play. Why is that so? Well, first of all, there's a huge RNG aspect. There's a huge draw RNG aspect and an RNG discard aspect. So if we have Silverware Golem in our hand and only one other card, and we play Soulfire, we only have a 50% chance to discard the Silverware Golem to get a positive outcome, and there's a huge problem. So whenever we play Soulfire, we want to have one of these discard cards in our hand, but even if we have them in our hand, there's only a chance that we actually discard them. So it is too much randomness involved and too much high rolling involved. But with this card, we have to discard many cards before this card becomes good. But when you have this card in your hand before turn 5, because the most optimal scenario for this card to have the most impact on the game is to play it on turn 5. So you need to have this card to either top deck it on 5, or you don't want to discard this card while having it in your hand, while discarding a lot of cards to buff this card. And there lies the biggest problem. So we want to discard a lot of cards and play this on 5, but not discard this card. So this is pretty bad. I'm sorry, Gul'dan. I'm sorry. Come here. I'm sorry guys, so this is the Warlock class legendary. I don't know how many legendaries every class will get. There must be at least 2 because every class will get the Death Knight hero card. And maybe there will be a lot of cool discard effects for the Warlock class to push the discard mechanic. But even if Warlock gets a lot of discard cards, the discard mechanic in its core is really not viable because of the RNG aspect. You have to draw the cards in the right order and you have to discard the right cards at the right time for this to be good. So this has in theory what Warlock really lacks, healing, but to make this card viable, it is really a dream scenario. It is utopic. So this is my opinion about this card, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this review, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I will be reviewing every single card. Hope you guys enjoy and see you guys next time. Peace.